There's something fascinating about how the most successful people in the world approach their day. We often admire their accomplishments, but what we should be asking ourselves is, how do they get there? What are the daily habits? The habits that set them apart from the rest? Because, let me tell you, success is not a mystery. It's a formula. It's a recipe. And just like any good recipe, it's all about the ingredients, the daily habits that over time bake into success. Let's take a closer look at these habits. Now, when I talk about habits, I'm talking about those things that these successful men and women do every single day, almost without thinking. It's what they do when nobody's watching. It's those small, consistent actions that, when repeated, turn into massive results. And the beauty of it is that these habits are available to all of us. They don't require genius or privilege, they just require discipline. The first habit I want to talk about is the habit of rising early. You know, there's a reason why you'll often hear about the world's most successful people starting their day before the sun even thinks about coming up. Think of people like Benjamin Franklin, who was up at 5 every morning. He believed that the early morning hours were a gift, a time to plan, to think, to prepare. It's no surprise he was one of the most accomplished men of his time. Rising early gives you a head start, a chance to get ahead while the world is still quiet. It's in those early hours that the day is yours. You can think clearly, you can plan your day, you can exercise, read, or simply reflect. It's in those hours that you set the tone for the rest of the day. And let me tell you, the tone you set in the morning often determines how successful you'll be that day. You've got to own the morning if you want to win the day. Now, you might be thinking, Jim, I'm not a morning person. But here's the thing. Being a morning person is a choice, not a trait. It's a habit you can build. Start by going to bed just 15 minutes earlier and getting up 15 minutes earlier. Gradually, you'll find that you can shift your internal clock. And what will you do with those extra hours? That's where the next habit comes in. Planning and goal setting. Successful people don't just stumble into success. They plan for it. They set goals. And they map out a path to reach those goals. Every morning before they dive into the busyness of the day, they take time to review their goals. They remind themselves of what they're working towards. This keeps them focused, keeps them on track. Think about it like this. Imagine you're driving in a foreign country. You wouldn't just start driving without a map, would you? You'd plan your route, you'd know your destination, and you'd keep checking that map to make sure you're on the right path. That's what successful people do with their lives. Every day, they check the map. They ask themselves, am I on the right path? Am I getting closer to my goals? Now, part of this planning process involves prioritizing. Successful people know that not all tasks are created equal. Some things matter more than others. They focus on the tasks that will move them closer to their goals. They're not afraid to say no to distractions, to the things that might be urgent but not important. They understand that success is about doing what's important, not just what's urgent. So, once you've risen early and set your plan for the day, what's next? Well, here's a habit that might surprise you. Physical exercise. The world's most successful people make time for physical activity. Why? Because they understand that their body is their vehicle, and it needs to be in peak condition to carry them through their busy lives. Take John D. Rockefeller, for example. One of the wealthiest men in history, Rockefeller was known for his morning walks. No matter how busy he was, he made time to walk, to breathe in the fresh air, and to clear his mind. And it wasn't just about physical health, it was about mental clarity. Exercise helps to reduce stress, increase focus, and boost energy. It's a way to reset, to recharge. But it's not just about the body. It's about the mind. The most successful people are lifelong learners. They're always reading, always learning, always seeking to improve themselves. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, spends about 80% of his day reading. He once said that knowledge builds up like compound interest. The more you learn, the more you earn. So make reading a daily habit. It doesn't have to be hours a day. Start with 15 or 20 minutes. Read books that challenge you, that expand your mind, that give you new ideas, because the more you feed your mind, the more valuable you become. And don't just read for information, read for transformation. Look for those ideas that can change the way you think, the way you act. Now, I want to touch on a habit that might seem simple but is incredibly powerful: reflection. Successful people take time to reflect on their day, on their actions, on their decisions. They ask themselves, what did I do well today? What could I have done better? What did I learn? This reflection is what turns experience into wisdom. There's a story about the great philosopher Socrates. He said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." And he was right. If you don't take the time to reflect, to learn from your experiences, you're missing out on one of the most powerful tools for growth. So, before you go to bed each night, take a few minutes to reflect. Write down your thoughts, your insights, your lessons learned. It's in this quiet time of reflection that you'll find the seeds of wisdom. And speaking of wisdom, let's not forget the importance of gratitude. The most successful people practice gratitude daily. They understand that success is not just about achieving more. It's about appreciating what you have. They take time each day to reflect on their blessings, to say thank you for the opportunities they've been given, for the people in their lives, for the simple joys of life. There's something powerful about gratitude. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It fills your mind with positivity, with contentment. And let me tell you, contentment is not the enemy of ambition. It's the foundation of it. When you're grateful for what you have, you're in a better position to pursue more. Gratitude is like a magnet. It attracts more of what you want into your life. Now, as we move through the day of a successful person, there's another habit that stands out. They make time for relationships. No matter how busy they are, they invest in the people around them. They understand that success is not a solo journey. It's a team effort. They build strong networks. They mentor others. They stay connected with friends and family. Take Andrew Carnegie, for example. One of the most successful industrialists in history, he attributed much of his success to the relationships he built. He once said, "No man will make a great leader who wants to do it all himself or get all the credit for doing it." Successful people understand that their success is amplified by the people they surround themselves with. They make time to connect, to listen, to support others, and in turn, they build a network of support for themselves. But it's not just about building relationships, it's about giving back. The most successful people understand that true success is not just about what you achieve, but what you give. They make it a daily habit to give, to contribute, to make a difference in the lives of others. Whether it's through charity, mentorship, or simply a kind word, they understand that the more you give, the more you receive. Now let's talk about another important habit: managing your energy. Successful people know that their energy is their most valuable resource. They manage it carefully. They understand that success is not about working harder, it's about working smarter. They take breaks, they rest, they recharge. They know that if they burn out, they can't achieve their goals. Look at someone like Thomas Edison. He was known for his intense work ethic, but he also knew the value of rest. He would take short naps throughout the day to recharge his mind. He understood that rest was not a waste of time, but an investment in his productivity. Finally, I want to talk about the habit of persistence. The most successful people are relentless. They don't give up when things get tough. They keep going. They keep pushing. They keep striving. They understand that success is not a straight line. It's a journey full of twists and turns, of ups and downs. Take the example of Abraham Lincoln. He faced failure after failure, defeat after defeat, but he never gave up. He persisted. And that persistence eventually led him to the presidency, where he became one of the greatest leaders in history. Successful people have a deep, unshakable belief in themselves and in their goals. They know that if they keep going, if they keep taking action, success will come. So, what can we learn from the daily habits of the world's most successful people? We learn that success is not a mystery, it's a formula. It's the result of daily habits, of consistent actions, of small steps taken every day. And these habits, rising early, planning, exercising, learning, reflecting, practicing gratitude, building relationships, giving back, managing energy, and persisting, are the ingredients of that formula. But here's the key. These habits are not just for the rich and famous. They're for all of us. You don't need $1 million to rise early, to set goals, to read, to exercise, to reflect, to give thanks, to build relationships, to give back, to manage your energy, or to persist. All you need is the willingness to commit, the discipline to follow through, and the belief that you can succeed. Success is available to everyone who's willing to do the work, to put in the time, to develop the habits, to build the habits. It's not about luck or talent. It's about what you do every single day. So start today. Start building those habits. Start creating the habits that will lead you to success. And remember, it's not what you do once in a while that shapes your life. It's what you do consistently. Take these habits, make them your own, and watch as your life begins to transform. Because success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. And who you become is determined by what you do every single day.